Hi everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise. I hope you guys are doing really well. So I'm making my way again through the Trump crime family videos, monthly videos now. Not doing dailies or weeklies anymore, just monthlies. And this one will be devoted to looking at Ivanka's December 2021. Okay, let me get the camera dropped down. Okay, so just like with her dad, I'm starting off with this deck here. Visions of Life Tarot. And let me tune into her. Okay. So the forces in motion in her life. Wow, 4 of Swords. Biggest challenge, 3 of Swords. Wow. Her plans. Wow. Her actions. Dad had the same card there in that same position. Wow. The karma hanging over her. Okay, and then 4 cards for her future. These cards are still so darn sticky. Wow, okay. Let's see what was on the bottom. Okay, let's take these 2 off the bottom. Okay. All right. So... Oh. I always forget how big these cards are. They're like oracle size. Okay. So with the forces in motion, with the 4 of Swords, of course, I mean, this can be a card of meditation. In this deck, they're calling it isolation. So I'm reading this as her doing the best she can to isolate herself from her dad and maybe even her husband. I'm not sure, but her biggest challenge is that she's heartbroken, but her heart's not very big there. Maybe this is her dad, maybe this is her husband. Okay. As far as what she's planning, well, I don't know that anybody would be planning on being defeated, but I think she's planning on defeating someone, and I don't know who this guy is, but it could be both of the aforementioned men. Okay. And then with the Queen of Swords. Now, this card, when I very first saw it, I thought, oh, it's a 9 of Swords, but it's not. In this deck, it's not. So with the Queen of Swords, especially just looking at this imagery, I mean, maybe we don't even need to have any words or me figuring out which card it really was, and just go with the imagery. There's really challenging sleepless nights, and you might be challenged and sleepless if you're trying to defeat somebody else who's been, whose world you've been pulled into all your life. And if I go with the traditional meanings of, the traditional meanings of the 5 of Swords is winner versus loser. I don't think she wants to be the loser here. The traditional meaning of the Queen of Swords is somebody, a woman who's trying to be independent of her past, which means often that they have to get a divorce. That's often what this card's all about. So those are her plans. Her actual actions with the Strength card is go, 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 and try and get it done and have the endurance to, you know, finish. With the Page of Wands here, I mean, look at this. Losing your head to pick up one piece of whatever. Is it a quarter? It's a coin. Wow. So this tells me a lot. She's trying to hang in there and have stamina for the rest of her. She's trying to have strength and stamina over the rest of her life financially. But the karma that's hanging over her is the Hanged Man, and look at what she's tied to, you know. Is this a family tree? And how come the tree's not very big anymore and is pretty bare? And what's this document here? Right? And she's stuck waiting. So that's interesting. Now with the High Priestess hanging up here, and this is her karma hanging over her. Her karma hanging over her. She's going to have to be quiet. She's going to have to go within and try and get some guidance. She's going to have to trust her intuition. She's going to have to find some clarity to get through this. And then also it can be about, you know, just a deeper understanding that comes from your actual, you know, like intelligence that you have. And I mean, I think she's intelligent on some level, right? Okay. Anyway, her future with the Three of Cups. Well, who's she reuniting with? And this is usually friends. It's usually a card of friendship. But look at the imagery here. I mean, we have somebody looking in the mirror and being shoved with a foot to look into the mirror. So there's really only two people, and one friend is saying, look at yourself. Or look at what's going on here. Okay. And then we got this card for her dad too, but it was over here in the planning section. And this is, I mean, if you forget that it's a Ten of Wands and just go with the imagery, it looks to me like somebody who's undergoing therapy because they're overwhelmed with life and they can't function. Maybe this guy is a therapist trying to figure out where she's at because she doesn't know, right? Because she's kind of lost here. And then further along in the future, we have the Queen of Wands, where, of course, you know, this is all about her. So this is her just being her normal self. But it's followed with the Nine of Wands, which is, I mean, look at that imagery. It's like self-defense. Feeling kind of haunted, I think. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So let's look at legally. Oh, wait, I forgot the two cards on the bottom. I had the Hierophant, which is, that's legal, that's government legal. And then it's with the moon, it's like, where's that frog? If I just kiss that frog, but the frog's like, get away. Okay. So maybe this is about her like conforming to the past or something, and then but this puppet master thing kind of has her dad in there as well. But it could be like being a puppet of, this is the church here, you know. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Take that with whatever you want. I don't know what else to say about that one. Let's use a Kipper. Let's use Chiro Marchetti's Kipper and see what's coming down the pike for her legally. Let's look at her legal future for December 2021. Ivanka Trump. Is anything happening? Oh, well, apparently. That's her. That could be a brother. Documents, all forms of communication, meetings, investigations into money, received, deception, lies, cheating, the path she's on. Whoa. Okay. Let's see what was on the bottom of this deck. Thief and child. Okay. Try to integrate that in a moment or in a bit. Takes me more than a moment just to get the card straight, right? Okay, so here's our theme. I don't know who the guy is, but this is usually a brother or a supportive person. It is absolutely not her husband. Because the main man would be would be the main male, whatever, would be her husband. But she's going in that direction. This could be an attorney, because there's usually a professional person. And we're in court. She's in court. If she's not in court, she's at least making some decisions, or a big decision, because this card is all about, you know, the judicial process. Like former court papers, you know, you go to court and you get the documents and they're served. So that's coming from behind. So that's probably already done. And she's moving towards, this could be somebody new. This, like I said, could be her husband. I'm not saying husband, her attorney. It's often a brother too, but it could be anybody that you go to get, you know, legal advice or investment advice. And if it's not a person, this would be just her with her ambitions for the future. But I kind of think it's a person, because we do have the message card, which is all types of communications, you know, telephone, written, text, everything, all types of communications. And then meetings. This card's all about meetings. And then what's coming in further down the line, okay, so she's coming from a place of waiting. She's coming from a place of, you know, anticipation, trying to be patient. I can't see, you know, what it's about because there's no card here, but we can take a wild guess, right? It's either divorce papers or her going to court herself because of these gifts she's received in the past, because this is her. But then again, this could be her paying out to this guy, because these cards touch. And then we have deception here. We have major dishonesty, and like, or it could just be that something's wrong. If it's not a person, this could be that something's wrong. But what's wrong is this gift, because this is what has affected this card. Right? And then it's moving her in this direction, but this card is coming back this way, and it's headed towards more deception. You know, this card can be a card of major betrayal, but the cause of the betrayal is this, and the journey card has to do with can just be her life experience. And like it has to do, I always look at it as kind of like your soul journey. But then you read further this way to see the outcome, because I read very directionally with all my cards actually. And with this being the outcome, right? This is somebody making a decision, right? If it's not a legal decision from, I think it is. I think it has to do with her receiving gifts in the past, and now there's a decree. Decree, is that the right word, that comes through? Because she's received, maybe her adjusted gross income on her tax documents did not, or her taxes didn't disclose these gifts that she's gotten. And of course they would have come from Trump.org, and there's all that dirt. She's very dirty. And what do we have on the bottom of the deck? We had her at a younger time thieving, stealing from the government, stealing from the taxpayers, because she didn't declare things on her tax returns that needed to be declared. So that's what I'm seeing for her legally for December, but I'll let it go out into January, February. I don't care when, but this looks like, this looks like what's coming down the line. If I'm right, I could be wrong. I tend to be more right than wrong, though, honestly. Looking back, so and then the cards too. Sometimes I'm not reading the cards right, but I did get the right cards. Like that happens all the time. So now I'm going to use the deck of character and look at. Let's look at what tools will be used against her in order to bring her into justice. And, well, yeah, let's stick with that. I'll just do 5 cards. I'm not seeing a reason to use 7 with her for some reason. What tools will be used to bring her into justice? Oh, apparently I had them upside down. Wow. Okay. And let me move these up for a minute. What places is she going to be landing in December 2021 or thereabouts? Heck, I'd be fine with all this stuff happening tomorrow. What day is it? I don't know. November 23rd, I think? Okay. Ivanka, what place will you be in soon? Whoa. Oops. Oh, this one came through for her dad. Okay. And let me take 2 off the bottom with this one. Okay. So you guys feel free to comment and tell me what you get intuitively with these cards too, because anybody can read these. Sometimes I have to look up the extra meanings of. Okay, this is blatantly obvious. So, well, there could be a couple levels here now. This could be her heart breaking open, but this could also be her husband or her dad or even a brother. This could be somebody acting like they have a broken heart, trying to put a spell on her, trying to seduce her. But they really only have dust. But then other people have the tools of using a shield. I feel like this has to do with her shielding, though, from the January 6th insurrection. But wasn't she there? Weren't her and Jared there in the tent with the rest of the family? Maybe they weren't. But we do know with the rest of the readings that she has definitely been trying to shield herself from her father. So that's definitely reiterated up here. And mirroring these two, bookend cards here, of course, it's all about the insurrection. She's trying to shield herself. But this could also be her husband trying to shield her too, because, whether or not they really get along or truly love each other, they do have children together. Interesting. Okay. And then the place she could be soon, or this month or thereafter, is in a very fiery, toxic place. But I don't see her losing money. But her reputation with the world is sparse. So this isn't just the USA. This is other, foreign places. Okay, so and on the bottom we have resurrection, which is like the judgment card, and heaven. And I remember getting, cards like this, I think, in her last, it was either last month or the month before, where I kind of felt some compassion for her. But yeah, so there might be some place where she does try to kind of have some soul redemption here, or like the way people would call it a come to Jesus moment. There's that possibility. Let me look at what was on the bottom of the tools. Oh my goodness. And vomit? Wow. Magnet? Huh. Well, at least these two. Looking in the mirror and wanting to... Now, because this is the tools that other people would be using, now the gun doesn't have to be violence, but it certainly does go with January 6th. And they're trying to see if she's, involved there. This is her dad, of course. Yeah, I get these cards for him a lot. Okay, well, that's all I have on this gal. And I don't know which brother I'll do next, or maybe I'll do Jared. Maybe I'll do Jared next. Or Don Jr. Maybe Don Jr. I don't know. Thanks, you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Take good care. Bye.